Hello and good morning. Joe Justice here, coming to you live on Wednesday. We are at Hump Day and I am excited about the week. I've got a lot of really cool stuff happening today, but it is Wednesday. I'm going to hop right into what I'm talking about because I've got a meeting at 9 and I've got to run. On Wealth Wednesday, I like to talk about basically ways to make more money, ways to get more money, things that you can do as an entrepreneur. I have a lot of entrepreneurial friends. I do a lot of entrepreneurial activities, and usually I talk about health and fitness and wellness and that kind of stuff. But today on Wealth Wednesday, I want to talk about wealth and building wealth, how to get more wealth and things like that. So today, I want to give you a quick and easy lesson on how to get more buyers for your product or service. There's really only one way to do it. I know a lot of people struggle with this when it comes to marketing and sales. At the end of the day, when you're talking about getting more buyers, what you're talking about is cold outreach, reaching out to cold market. And that probably sends a shiver down your spine, no pun intended, right? But reaching out to cold market is the most important thing you can do to build your business, to sell more products. And by the thing that you have to remember when it comes to cold market, and one of the things that people have a really hard time with is the simple fact that there's more people that don't know about your product or service than do know about your product or service. If more people knew about it than didn't know about it, then you would already be rich, right? So there's this kind of idea that especially entrepreneurs have that I've run into quite a bit, this kind of limiting belief that drives me nuts whenever, I talk to people. They think they're going to start a business, they're going to hang a shingle out, and people are just going to beat a path to their door because they've got this business and it's wonderful, it's amazing. And the modern equivalent to that is they're going to start a business and they're going to make a post on Facebook, and man, people are just going to come flooding in. And it doesn't work that way. You have to tell people what you do. Every time you meet with people, every time you have a meeting, every time you go somewhere, every time you go to a public event, you have dinner, whatever it is, whatever you're doing, anytime that you meet with new people, you have got to tell them what you do. You have got to tell them about your product or service. Now, a lot of people have a hard time with this when it comes to cold market because they like to work out of position. And position is where you're at in a sales funnel. So if you're at a sales funnel, you have to think of sales. You got your top layer, which is just kind of the people that know about your business. And then there's the bottom layer, which is the people that are actually buying your product or service. So whatever position that person is in, you're going to talk to them differently. A lot of people try to close every time they talk to someone, that's where the mistake is. The mistake is trying to close out of position. So instead of walking up to somebody and telling them about your product, you walk up to them and try to sell them your product. And that's a mistake. What you want to do is walk up to people and tell them about your product. Hey, my name is Joe and I sell widgets. What do you do? That's it. That's how you would introduce yourself. That's how you would talk about your product. You don't walk up to them and say, hey, my name's Joe, I sell widgets. How many would you like to buy today? And that's what a lot of that's what a lot of cold calling is kind of based on. That's the way a lot of people try to do cold outreach, which obviously doesn't work. That's why cold outreach has such a negative connotation. That's why it makes your teeth itch as soon as somebody says you need to reach out to your cold market. You need to do some cold market prospecting. You need to do some cold calling. You need to go visit some businesses. You need to go, reach out to cold market. That's because they're thinking of it as closing out of position. What you need to do is go to businesses, and there's a ton of ways to do this. You just basically need to let them know what you do. And again, you need to do this anytime you have an interaction with people. When you go to the library, when you go to business after hours events, when you go out to dinner, whatever it is that you do, whenever you're with people, you need to make sure that they understand what you do and see if they're open to it. Okay, so a simple script that I can give you that can help you out with that is just to say, let's say you sell soap. Okay, so let's make it simple. So you meet somebody on the street, you don't know who they are, you don't know what they do, you don't know anything about them. The mistake would be to walk up to them and say, Hey, my name is Joe. I sell soap. How many can I put you down for? You want to buy 2 pallets, 3 pallets? Right then, that's where that cold marketing, that's where that kind of cringy, like, oh, get away from me, that's where it comes from. And that's where you get the negative connotation. Instead, what you want to do is just walk up to them and say, hey, how are you doing? Introduce yourself. My name's Joe. What's going on? I sell soap. Hey, listen, do you know anybody that would be interested in soap? That's it. Now they know that you sell soap, and they know that it's something that you do. And if they know somebody that would be interested, they'll tell you. And if they don't, then you move on. Now, what you have to accept with that is you're not going to get a whole lot of people that way that are going to say, oh, yeah, I sure do. I know a lot of people that sell that need some soap. Let me give you their names and numbers. But what you've done is you've planted that in their mind. So, and that's what that cold outreach, that's what that top of funnel position is for. You plant it in their mind, and then next time they're talking to somebody that says, you know what, I need some soap. Then they'll say, oh, you know what, I know a guy that sells soap. Obviously, this is way simplified. You'd want to let them know what's different about your soap, what are your benefits of your soap, what are the features of your soap, and all that kind of stuff. But that's basically it. Basically, you want to introduce them to the fact that you sell a product and see if they would be interested in buying the product or knew somebody that would be, and that's it. You're introducing them to the idea. If it's cold market, that's what you're doing. You're letting them know that your product or service exists, and that's it. So that's what I would give you for an action step today. If you run a business, if you own a business, if you're an entrepreneur, or you have a little side hustle, you're trying to sell candles on the side or something like that, don't just broadcast it. Reach out to the market, reach out to people that you don't know, and say, hey, I just started this business selling candles. Do you know anybody that would be interested in candles? Mine are lavender free or whatever it is, whatever makes yours unique. And that's all you have to do. So that's my action step for you today. I hope that you get a chance to do it. If you do that every day, eventually that will begin to snowball and you'll build a funnel that will begin to move people down through it. I've got to run. I've got an important meeting at 9 o'clock that I've got to get to. I'll be doing I'm working on some presentations for some marketing in the IT space. So I'm going to be helping out people with that. And I am getting everything all set up for my May Challenge group. If you are interested in improving your health and fitness, you need a little bit of a challenge, you need somebody to give you a little bit of a push, I'm here for you. Send me a message, let me know, and I will be happy to add you to my group. Until next time, take care and bye for now.